Okay, good morning, students. How is everybody doing? What a lovely snow day we're having. 2 days in a row. Fantastic. So, the purpose of this video is to make a video presentation that you can pause, you can fast forward, rewind, watch throughout. However, it is you want to take notes is entirely up to you. We're going to be talking about Italy, and we're also going to be talking about how and continue how people distribute power and define roles. So let us begin. This is a map of Europe. Europe can be divided into 5 regions: northern, eastern, western, southern, and the British Isles. Last time we looked at Portugal. Now we're going to look at Italy. So here are some notes of Italy. What is in bold is the only thing that you really need to know about, which essentially Italy became a nation state in 1861 when the regional states of the peninsula, along with Sardinia and Sicily, were united under King Victor Emmanuel II. So it used to be disunited, then it became united in 1861. Italy also has some history of World War II. So, for example, Benito Mussolini created a fascist dictatorship in the early 1920s, and then during World War II, he allied with Adolf Hitler's Nazi Germany, and it eventually led to the defeat. It then became a democratic republic in 1946. Italy has been ever since part of NATO and the EU, and there have been some persistent problems with its economy and unemployment, organized crime, corruption, all that fun stuff. So, here is our host Barb's introduction to Italy. You're going to go into YouTube, type in Geography Now Italy, and you're going to watch this video. Be sure to get your parents' permission. When you're finished watching this video, you'll then come back to here, and we're going to continue. So you can pause the video now, go to Geography Now Italy, watch it, then come back. Okay, here we go. So Italy, let's review some more. Italy is like a boot shape. It is a boot kicking 2 deflated balls, and it is in the south of Europe. So the capital of Italy is Rome. Southern Italy and northern Italy are very distinct, and you could say it's very different. Southern Italy have more cities near the Mediterranean Sea. They're more sea people. Northern Italy is more near the Alps mountains, and they are more inland people. So, for example, you can see Bari, Taranto, Messina, Palmero, lots of southern Italian cities near the Mediterranean Sea. And then more of the northern cities like Verona, Molgona, Milan are more inland. They're not near the sea. If you were to compare the size of Italy to the United States, it looks something like this. And if you do not see this boot shape, here's a boot, here's the shape of the boot, kicking 2 soccer balls, then hopefully you see it now. So this is our 2-minute break. If you need to pause the video, you can do so. Otherwise, let's keep on going with foreign policy. We're going to also talk about foreign policy today. So here's the question that we're going to answer. How does the president or how does a leader make foreign policy decisions? So let's pause and think about how we make our own decisions. Have you ever had to make a really important or difficult decision, and what did you do to help decide? Pause the video, think about it, and then when you're ready, resume. Okay, so maybe some examples, some options you chose were either talking to friends and family, maybe you asked for advice from experts like teachers, coaches, and counselors, maybe you made a list of pros and cons. Whatever you did to help you decide, helped you decide. So, answer this question. What did you choose and why did you choose this method that you chose to help you decide? Pause the video, think about it. Okay, here we go. Keep going on. So, we make decisions all the time, just personal decisions. However, leaders, presidents have to make really important decisions. So, what kinds of decisions does a president need to make? They need to make domestic and foreign policy decisions. Domestic policy are plans and actions that impact and occur within a country, so within the United States. And a foreign policy is government actions related to or dealing with other nations or outside of the country. Domestic is within the country, foreign is outside of the country. Domestic within, foreign outside. These are 2 different policies that are made. Asking the experts. So, who might be the most helpful experts or resources when the president has to make decisions around foreign policy? Maybe some examples: military leaders, economic experts, security officials, and many more. The president has cabinet. The president has advisors to help make decisions. We cannot make all decisions ourselves. If we could, that would be amazing. But as a result, we have to ask for others for their assistance and input for making our judgment. So, who can you call? The NSC, or the National Security Council. They are a group of experts in their field that aid the president in matters of global importance. They help guide and execute the foreign policy. Foreign policy, if we recall, outside the country. So, as part of the executive branch, the council advises the president on issues related to international conflict and events. So, what tools and actions can the president and the NSC use when making foreign policy decisions? Well, here are some tools. There's diplomatic, economic, domestic, unconventional, military, and no action. These are the tools. Tools are these. When you think of tools, you do not think of like a hammer, you do not think of scissors, you do not think of a screwdriver. In terms of foreign policy tools, these 6 tools and many other tools are used. So, once policy, a plan of action is considered, tools can be selected and actions can be delegated. What does delegated mean? To delegate means to assign or to hand off. Assign or hand off someone else to do. So in that case, the president assigns or delegates or hands off policy decisions to other areas of the executive branch. Gives you, delegates, provides, hands off to you things to do in terms of policy decisions. Because the president and no one can do everything. As a result, you hand off assignments, you delegate. If you ever become a TA, a teacher assistant to a teacher, you are being delegated. You are being handed off assignments to do that puts stuff off of your teacher's plate to do, like grading homework assignments or creating lesson plans, and it instead allows you to do instead, so that it hands off. It relieves the amount of work that us teachers have to do. So if you ever become a TA, you're being delegated work to do by the teacher. So let's talk about each one of these. No action. Sometimes the best option in a foreign policy situation is to take no action at all. Maybe doing nothing is the best thing. Or maybe with economic, like sanctions or trade deals or foreign aids, this is most often used by the Department of the Treasury and sometimes through the work of the state or justice departments. Maybe domestic tools are investigation, legal action, refugee admissions, economic regulations. Domestic is within. So within the country, domestic, used within the country. Unconventional or unorthodox or not mainstream. So for example, cyber warfare, espionage, which is spying and training foreign militaries and intelligence services. These are used relatively in secret. So for example, the FBI, the CIA use unconventional tools, unconventional foreign policy tools. And then finally, military. Military tools, for example, airstrikes, ground invasions, troop patrols, joint military exercises. These are stuff that the military is able to use for their foreign policy. So for example, with the Russian-Ukraine war, the president would be advised by the military to use these options if necessary and if required and if deemed important and strategically available to use. So these are the foreign policy tools: diplomatic, economic, domestic, unconventional, military, and no action. So this concludes the lesson part. Let me demonstrate what the next part of your assignment is going to be. When you look on Canvas, you're going to be on 4.2 notes. Click on 4.2 notes. You're going to take notes on reading chapter 2.1, European Physical Geography and Boundaries, from the website link. And then, since we are not in class today and you do not have a handed out worksheet, you are going to be able to click on this Google Docs page to take the guided notes. So when you click on there, you will see this. You can save it into your Google Drive. You can print it out or you can type it. Whatever you want to do is up to you for taking your open notes. So you can print it off and then handwrite, or you can type and then print it off for the upcoming quiz that is coming up in March. When you click on it, this is the website, 2.1 European Physical Geography and Boundaries. There's no vocabulary words. You're just going to take notes on this section of its geography and boundaries. When you complete that, you will then continue working on all other assignments you need to do in this class. If you are missing assignments, then you can use this opportunity to complete them. If you are not completed with Utah Vacation, if you're not completed with South American Resources, if you are not completed with African Boundaries, and if you are not completed with Introduction to Europe, you can work on those 4 assignments. That'll be what you can do on this fantastic online virtual day. So, let us recap. What we did is we looked at the slides of Italy. The worksheet you're going to now work on, taking notes on European Physical Geography and Boundaries. You're going to do it by reading this website article, this online textbook. Then when you are done, you're going to complete all remaining assignments that you are needing to do. And if you don't, then hey, that's great for you, and we will see you hopefully tomorrow, which is Friday. So, take care, everyone. Have a great rest of the online virtual day, and I'll see you tomorrow.